Tonight on The Deed Chicago, one of the city's top designers and her husband
You've the absolute best house on the block.
have grand ambitions.
Wow, it's a big project.
What we're trying to do is build our brand.
But is their high concept
I have found some amazing things.
pricing them out of the market?
$113,000 over budget.
Are you joking me?
If I can't knock some sense into them,
If you're 100 over now, you'll be 250 over at the end. It's pretty scary.
their finances,
We need help.
We're sinking.
and future in real estate
We're never gonna be able to finish the project at this rate.
may be over.
If we continue on the path that we're on, we're dead. That's our children. That's our life.
He may have been born in Ireland, but Sean Conlon was made in America.
I have lived the American dream.
He's built a fortune in the hard-nosed world of Chicago real estate.
I came here with $500 in my pocket, and I worked as a janitor. I shoveled snow, I cleaned toilets. I did anything I needed to do to scratch out a living.
At night, he started to sell real estate,
After I got my first commission check, I realized I was never going back to my day job.
and by age 26, he was one of the top-earning brokers in America.
I have bought, sold, and flipped billions of dollars of real estate. There's nothing more exhilarating than taking something that's tired and run down and breathing new life into it.
Now, Sean's looking out for the next generation of developers,
We need help.
There's no crisis we can't handle.
investing his own money
So what's your ask?
$2 million.
and years of experience
You'll see how it should be done.
to help them create great real estate
It's spectacular.
Wow, this is beautiful.
and their own success stories.
You've helped me save this.
Thank you.
This is The Deed Chicago.
Award-winning hotel and restaurant designer Karen Issopo is one of this city's best. But after starting a family, her priorities changed.
Okay. You know, multiple projects. I had a team of amazing designers under me, like 10 to 15 people at a time. So a lot of design, creative, a lot of travel.
And I wanted her to be at home more.
So her husband, Nick, a business consultant, came up with a plan.
I've always wanted to be in the real estate business. And with her amazing design background and what's going on with the market, I thought, hey, let's do this full time.
They hit the ground running with a handful of rehab projects.
We were super successful in our first few flips. The first property we did, $40,000. Second property, $50,000. Third property, $70,000.
Confident in their winning streak and in search of even bigger profits, Nick and Karen decided to make the leap from flippers to builders. For just $189,000, they purchased an empty lot in historic Riverside, a wealthy Chicago suburb. They've already borrowed almost $500,000 to build a massive 4-bedroom house, banking on Karen's designer background to see them through.
You know, have awards and all that, and that's great. But this is all new to me, and it's scary.
Especially since they barely started and already don't have the money to finish it.
It's the largest construction project we've had to date, and we might just break even.
Karen is an absolute rock star when it comes to design. She worked with a team at Simeone Deary, which is one of the top design companies in the country, and she's transformed some of the coolest hotels, bars, and restaurants. I've got to admit, given her reputation, Karen was the last person I expected to get a call from for some help. But I am curious to see how she's taken her bold aesthetic into home design. It's a big house.
It's a big house. We're going up and even further.
Above grade, it's 3,300 square feet.
This is all open space.
Yeah, I can feel how wide
Right.
it is back here. You have a ton of space here
Yeah.
and really nice ceiling heights.
Nick and Karen's first new construction is no small undertaking. The first floor alone will be over 1,500 square feet, with a large open concept kitchen and living room, and a dining room that opens out to a massive back deck.
We're trying to keep in touch with the nature as much as
Super
possible.
Big French doors.
Yep, a triple slider and then big windows here. This would be the
And
dining
then this
room.
is your yard back
Yeah.
there. What are you, like 200 feet deep?
250.
Wow. The landscaping won't be cheap.
12,000 with the deck, and it's spectacular. The size of it is amazing.
We haven't even discussed upstairs yet.
Yeah.
The second floor is only partially finished, but it will be transformed with 3 spacious bedrooms, plus a grand master suite with vaulted ceilings and a phenomenal ensuite master bath. I mean, you found a really nice project. Just need to finish it, right?
We do.
What are houses like this selling for in the neighborhood?
A new construction project just sold, and they sold between $800,000 and $900,000.
Okay. And how much are you going to spend building?
Our original budget was $440,000.
By how much are you off?
$100,000.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
How did that happen?
Well, you know, this is our first new construction, and this is our first project GCing.
That's the biggest thing.
Nick and Karen were successful as flippers, but to jump into new construction and a project of this size and GC it themselves, that was a bad idea. That's kind of like sitting in the passenger seat of an airplane and thinking, I can fly this thing. And suddenly you're midair and you're like, how the f am I gonna get this thing down?
On all of our other projects, we always had a foundation. We always had a starting point, and then we build on top. So our numbers were a little off on the excavation, foundation, and the lumber costs.
You feel you have that under control now, right?
You know, we're getting into the finished part of the job, where we've done multiple times on all of the gut rehabs. So we have a pretty strong grip on that. We're just, you know, over budget.
Just over budget. That's kind of like saying the Titanic just stopped at that iceberg to pick up some extra ice for the drinks. Look, Nick and Karen scored a great lot at a good price, but if they don't pay attention to their bottom line, this really could sink them.
To finish the basement, is it something that we spend the $20,000 on because we're at this price point or not?
If somebody's going to spend $900,000 in a house, they're going to want the full basement. Otherwise, they run the risk of being the only home in that neighborhood without one. They could find themselves sitting on the market for a long time without selling. I appreciate the tour. House is really impressive.
Thank you.
So my question is, what do you guys need?
Based on the money that our lender has to give us to finish the project, and based on our budget, it's $100,000 to finish the project.
Okay. I'll need to think about it, and I'll be back to you, okay?
All right. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Riverside is pretty close to Chicago city limits, so it's very good for commuters with families. Additionally, it has generous lot sizes that allow for some very big homes. Other 4-bedroom homes in the area are listed anywhere from the $700,000 range up to $1 million. We have a real challenge here. We're going to have to deliver a high-end home while at the same time cutting costs. But there's always a way out, and I think that taking a look at Nick and Karen's most recent flip is going to give me a good idea of where to start.
Hi,
Karen, how are
Sean.
you? Good to see you. How
Nice
are
to
you?
see you. Great, I'm great.
Good.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Welcome. This is our Oak Park house.
Wow.
This is our 4th renovation.
Okay.
And probably, you know, one of the larger ones that we've done to date. My background in hospitality design. Every single project has its own concept, superior in quality and in high design.
It's a beautiful house. You got tons of space, don't you?
Yeah. Into the master bath.
Wow, what a nice bathroom.
Thank you.
And then this pattern, this is super cool.
So this is great. I love tile in general. This is one of the tiles that I continue to use. This is more expensive, but it's so great because people are going bonkers over it. Just the fact that you've never seen anything like this in the market.
Wow, I actually have never seen anything like it. Karen's designs for this home are top-notch. Perfect for $1 million home, but this street in Oak Park is not $1 million street. The house is absolutely spectacular, but it hasn't sold.
Nope.
It has not.
It's price. Doesn't matter how spectacular it is.
We're at the upper echelon of the pricing. It's on the market for $759.
The market's very, very clinical. Price sells. So do you think at $759 you're priced to sell now?
No. Realistically, I mean, our break even is $700.
As a flipper, time is not your friend. The longer you hold the property, the less you make flipping it.
Well, not to mention the fact we have over $250,000 sitting here.
What jumped out at me when I rocked up here, you've the absolute best house on the block.
We do.
Yes.
Which always is a bit of a problem, right? It's often harder to sell. All these houses cost way less than yours.
Right.
100%.
You spend too much money on it. You just want to rescue your equity out of it.
Right.
I would recommend you reduce the price. You need to cut your losses and move on.